Dude, so how's the golf game going?
Not bad. Depends on the day. I shot a 74 the other day. Yeah,
Woo!
85 yesterday. So it's not consistent. Not consistent.
It's up and down. That's all right, man. That's all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, when we played a couple weeks ago, you were hitting the ball well, for sure.
Oh yeah, it was an okay day. Okay, it had some pressure. The camera adds a bit of pressure. The camera adds a bit of pressure.
Is that the first time you played golf with a camera on you?
Yes, yes. It was
Yeah.
cool though. Cool
Right, a
experience.
little experience. Day three of the AP tour, man. That was a time and a half. You set up a freaking day for us.
I was. We were fortunate enough that like the weather was nice and it all turned out nice. So it was good.
It was incredible, man. I loved it. I loved it. It was I was very appreciative of everything that you put out for us, drinks, pizza, food, the works. You set it all up. Noah helped it out. It was a great day.
Well, we wanted nothing but the best for the AP tour, especially coming to my like home territory. We wanted to set up nice, so we were lucky. They were all there. Got a nice pizza, a couple of drinks, so it turned out great.
Yeah, you set the bar high. I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to top that. That was a pretty good way to start it off. You're gonna go down in AP tour history, I think.
I wanted to have a good impression, and I hope I did. I honestly hope I did.
100%, man. And now you're rocking the hat. I love it. It's the right kind of merchandise to be wearing.
I haven't took it off since you gave it to me. So I haven't showered, nothing.
Since you shook my hand, eh?
Exactly.
Dude, so what's up with you? Are you playing some hockey right now? Are you guys getting back on the ice?
Yeah, so we're in every Friday. Actually, we have a game. It's Montreal pros against. We have like the Sherbrooke pros come down. We have the Quebec pros come down, and it's actually quite good caliber hockey. A lot of pros. We actually had Chris Letang was out on our team the other day, so that was pretty cool to see that. And no, it's fun. It's actually quite competitive too, because no one wants to go to lose. Everyone's trying to have to win. So the last like 10 minutes, it's intense. It's like a playoff hockey almost. So it was cool. It was fun.
That's awesome. All the Montreal boys. Hey, it's a bit of a hotbed for hockey players over there. Hey.
Yeah, man, we got like a good core group of guys, and yeah, we're 2-0 so far. So we don't want to brag or anything.
No big deal, hey.
Yeah, not a big deal, exactly.
No big deal. You got guys speaking French, half the guys speaking English. What's it like out there? You guys curse in both languages?
Well, we actually have our team that it's made up of is mostly there's more English guys, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I mean we can chirp in English, French, Russian, whatever you need, we can chirp. Good.
You're trilingual, hey. You're just a guy of many talents.
I try my best. I try my best.
I love it. That's one of the interesting notes. You born and raised in Montreal, grew up, and now you're playing in your hometown. What's that like, man? Like, how does it feel being able to step on the ice every day and know you're playing in front of people you grew up playing against?
Oh no, it's really cool. Especially like my first few years pro, I was kind of away from like my family and everyone from home. So it was nice to be able to play in front of them. I think I told you on the course, so like one of my first games I was playing, it was my niece's first ever game. She was 2 at the time, 2 or 3 at the time, and it was her first ever like professional hockey game she attended, and I ended up scoring that game, and it was cool. I got her the puck too, so it was fun.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, you did tell me that. It's pretty storybook ending, you know?
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was awesome, and hopefully I can do more of that for her.
You've got you continue to just put pucks in the net. Hey, you lure them into a false sense of security. You know, you don't seem like the guy that's going to put up the points, but you keep finding the net every once in a while. Hey,
If I close my eyes, I have a better chance of hitting the net. So I'll keep trying my best to do that.
Way too humble, man. So you're drafted by Calgary in the 5th round in 2012. Take me through what it was like when you were walking up that stage, when you hear your name called. Like, man, the emotions that are going through that.
It was like a whirlwind of a day. First of all, what an experience. Like I went to the draft, but still you can go to the draft and you never know if your name's going to be called or if you're ever going to get an opportunity. So I was like one of the lucky ones that got their name called. I had a good expectation that Calgary was very interested. I knew someone on their staff and they seemed interested, but I also thought that maybe Pittsburgh was interested since they thought highly of me, and it was in Pittsburgh, the draft. So I was like, oh, that would be cool if I got drafted to Pittsburgh. But honestly, Calgary is a Canadian market, unbelievable. I had when they called my name, I was like, what? This is amazing. My mom and dad they teared up a bit. It was an amazing experience, and something I'll never forget for sure.
It's such a cool, one of the things that we go through, I've listened to on the podcast now over the past 50 episodes is, the different ways that people get into becoming professional sports. And that's one of the cool things about, the big four sports is the drafts and how that comes in and, how big of an impact that has for athletes and how much of a memory it is to stick in their mind. It's so cool. And, for that matter, just having your name called in anything, it's amazing. So I'm happy for you, man. I loved hearing you go into detail about in the podcast. And when we go on that YouTube, it's going to be cool when we share that YouTube video in a couple weeks too. I love it.
It's awesome.
So what's your training like right now then? If you're on the ice, not as much as you typically would be at this time of year, are you hitting the weights heavy, or what's the deal?
So yeah, it was kind of a weird summer. I was definitely in the gym about 4 or 5 times a week, just working on a lot of mobility in the beginning. And now we're hitting the weights, trying to gain some weight. But these past couple weeks, actually, I've been going on the ice, I think 3 times a week, including the Friday game, pro game. So that's kind of fun. But a lot of the times on the ice, we're just working on like mobility, like moving the puck, moving your feet. I'm actually fortunate enough. I'm working with like 2 NHLers, Marco Scandella and Nathan Beaulieu. They're actually like they make the game look kind of easy the way they move and skate. So I'm kind of like watching them, and hopefully I can be like them one day. But no, I'm on the ice 3 times a week, and I'm in the gym 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm on the golf course a couple of times a week too. Just getting that game ready to go. But
you gotta get the cardio in somehow, right?
Exactly. I'm trying not to cart, but if the card's there, I'll take it. So
balance. You don't want to burn too many calories, right?
No, exactly. And no, but I'm trying to like measure out my summer and enjoy it at the same time. But it's been the weirdest summer out of all my years pro, since it's like we don't know how long it's going to be, when the season's going to start back up. So I'm kind of like taking advantage of like being closer to home for as long as I can. And I guess we'll find out in the next couple of weeks what's going to happen with the next season. And I'm enjoying like watching the playoffs. It's kind of a different format, the bubble and everything. So it's cool, but I wonder what's going to happen for the winning team. Are they going to go out in Edmonton and a social distance celebration? So we'll see how that works.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Who do you think's going to get who's going to win it with Tampa up 2-1 right now? We're recording on Friday night here, so is Game 4 tonight?
Is it tonight? Yeah, I think it must be tonight. Yeah, Friday. Yeah, it's tonight. So
who you got?
I mean, if Stamkos is gonna put he's back, right?
He's out. No, they just said he's out for Game 4.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. He scores in Game 3 and then out for Game 4. Guys in and out.
That's
just like
I mean, I'd like to see both franchises win, because I mean, it'd be nice to see Dallas finally like win after a while. They have a lot of veterans on that team, but then again, Tampa has like proven they're an amazing team during the season, and they kind of fall short during the playoffs. So it'd be nice to see Tampa win too. But I mean, I play with Nikita Kucherov in the queue, so it'd be nice to see him kind of win. And I mean, it's anyone's game now. I might go for Dallas today. Like they're down 2-1. They might come back.
They got Hudobin in net, who's just been standing on his eyebrows currently. These guys are
yeah. You know what? He's that's the thing. He's kind of been like a second string goalie, and now he's got his opportunity to prove that he's not a second string; he's a first string, and he's kind of riding the wave. And I hope he has some success with that.
Yeah, gotta love goaltenders. You know, goalies are the best.
Exactly, like you, eh? Like you, exactly.
Yeah, man. That was the first thing when you found out I was a goalie on the range. You completely changed. You thought I was crazy after that the whole way.
Oh, I mean, you got to be kind of a little bit sick in the head to want to take 100-mile-an-hour shots to the head and be okay with it. You know, I'm
Well,
supposed to block shots, and I sometimes get out of the way. You know.
yeah, but come on, I didn't. I never played at a level the guys were putting it 100 miles. So let's be real. I got lucky, you know.
Okay, 99. We'll say 99.
99. There we go. We'll say that. We'll go for it. Maybe when we get on the ice at some point, you can fire a couple at me, and I'll get out of the way.
Perfect.
So you brought up Kucherov. You guys played in 2012, 2013 with the Ramparts over in Quebec. That team was stacked. You had Grigorenko, who ended up going second overall or third overall in that year. Duclair, as I mentioned, you know, the guy who likes to lift up his shirt in every photo. What was that team like?
It was honestly it was just really fun to be a part of that team. It seemed like we were just winning all the time. I remember too, like our power play was just, it was a guaranteed goal every time. You got Grigorenko, Kucherov, Duclair. Like you just give it to one of them, they can make a play. But no, honestly, it was fun too, and it was good for me because in practice I'm going up against these guys every day, right? So I'm bettering myself by going up against these NHLers, and I think that really helped my game. And you know, it was fun to be a part of. Unfortunately, we lost in the playoffs because we traded away Kucherov to the Rouen-Noranda. And he ended up beating us in the playoffs, and that's when he became Nikita Kucherov, you know. So
I wasn't gonna bring up that part, but since you mentioned it, yeah.
He was honestly, like, even in the queue, he was a stud, and he put up 130 points one year. It's incredible. It's amazing.
Ridiculous. It's cool. Well, and now, like, obviously his game's just translated to the next level at the NHL, and he's dominating at that level too. Him and Braden Point are just ridiculous together.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, Dallas can have a tough time just containing those two, especially on the power play. Like, even Hedman, they got Hedman too on the power play, so they got you know, it's not going to be easy. And Kucherov makes plays that you're like, did he actually just do that? Like, what?
That toe pass?
Oh my God.
Ridiculous.
I taught him that, believe it or not.
Oh, did you? Yeah. That was back in 2012. Hey, you're like, hey, when you use this in 2020 during COVID, you might need this.
Yeah, exactly.
So, an interesting note, when you were playing junior, you had Patrick Waugh as your head coach. And you brought this up, and I want to pick your brain on this, you know, from the goaltending aspect, from what's it like playing for a guy with that kind of hockey knowledge and IQ?
Like, I have to admit, like, it was definitely intimidating at first, especially like I'm a huge Montreal Canadiens fan, and he's a legend in Montreal. Like, despite him kind of leaving that one game where he left to go, and he's still a legend, and he'll always be. His number's retired in Montreal too, so it was like, wow, this is like Patrick. Wow, that's really cool. But then you know, you get to know him, and he's honestly, like, he's very passionate. He loves the game. Just so you want to work, you want to win with that guy because he knows what it takes to win. So, I mean, he can be very intense at times, but I mean, I like to play for coaches that are intense, that show the passion, as opposed to someone that's quiet, reserved. Like, he's into the game, you know, and he knows what it takes to win. So it was honestly the best. I think it was 3 years I played for him, 3 years of my career. He really, like, got my game to the next level, and I remember every day. I don't know if you've ever been to in Quebec City, the Coliseum. It's a big building,
Okay.
And there's a lot of stairs. And every morning we had to run every stair at the Colisée. So my cardio got pretty good at the end of my fourth year, but it was tough. It was definitely tough, and I enjoyed it for sure.
And you mentioned that he was really good actually at catering, his motivation tactics to each of the players on that team. For example, it was harder on one guy, maybe a little softer on the other. How do you think he approached that, or what went into that? Was just that part of his knowledge and experience playing a factor?
I think he just knew how to read guys and what they needed to be motivated with. Like a good example is sometimes not everyone wants to be screamed at and yelled at, like you suck, like wake up, no, no, no. He would just make kind of like little remarks, little comments, but he knows you're listening just to fire you up. Like I remember one comment, it actually fired me up, even though it wasn't about me. He told we were doing one-on-one practices for like a whole week, and one guy kind of got beat, but he's a good defender. He just kind of got beat. And then he went up to the forward and said, "Don't go against that guy one-on-one. He's too soft for you." But he said it like loud enough so the guy heard. The next one, they were battling hard, you can see Pat was happy. But just that little remark, it was like, "I got me fired up. Don't call me." You know what I mean? So it was smart, very smart.
So tell me about your own orange julep experience, because I got to have that there when we were on the AP tour, visited it. Is that part of the daily diet in your routine, or when do you sneak that into the old diet?
I honestly, now that you mention it, I might have to go tonight because I haven't gone in a long time, and it's part of Montreal tradition, the orange julep. It's amazing. Did you enjoy it? It was pretty good, no?
It was amazing, man. We had the poutine and poutine, whatever you want. Did I say it right?
Yeah, poutine, same thing, same thing.
Same thing.
But
Yeah,
the orange julep was probably money, no? Yeah.
Oh, it was unbelievable. What is it? Fermented orange juice and mixed. It was an orange creamsicle basically, and it came.
Yeah, exactly.
It was amazing. I probably maybe gained 5 to 10 pounds on the AP tour, but it was worth it.
I might have to cut this short because I'm craving it right now.
Man, goddamn it! I shouldn't have brought it up. So, what do you do during your off season, during in season? A lot of the things, players are transitioning now towards different methods of recovery, trying to make sure that their health and wellness is, at the forefront throughout the season. Are you doing anything in particular to make sure that you are staying in the best shape possible? Do you have a Whoop strap? Are you spending time in the sauna? What's your schedule look like?
Honestly, for the past couple of years, I've dealt with a bunch of injuries that kind of slowed down my progress, and some of them were, fluky. I sliced my wrist. I was out for a while, so that you can't really. But a lot of them were just maybe flexibility wise. I wasn't the most flexible guy. So the past couple of years, I've done a lot of yoga. I was never a big believer in yoga. I was like, that's for goalies. And they need more. But honestly, it's actually helped with a lot of my mobility, my flexibleness, just to move better. And I really enjoy doing yoga. I'll do it once, maybe sometimes twice a week, just to get more flexible. Not hot yoga. I'd like to try hot yoga, but I hear it's good, not great sometimes because it's the heat and it's whatever. But yoga is actually, I'm enjoying it, and I really recommend it for those of you that are thinking about doing it. It's good, and you can definitely get more flexible.
Yeah, I actually did yoga last night, but I incorporate that once a week now into my schedule. I did hot yoga almost for nearly a month straight before COVID hit. I was grinding every single day. Ridiculous, probably not good for you, dehydration, whatever. I was drinking 6 liters of water, but man, it's unbelievable. I started doing a bit of bodybuilding style working out. I got to get a little bigger for the podcast. Show off the guns, whatever. But I'm incorporating yoga once a week, and it's awesome, man. And I can't actually stress enough the mental health benefits that come along with it as well. Just bringing you back to a zen state.
Nice. Yeah, namaste for sure. My favorite part of yoga is the 15-minute at the end, the little quiet time.
Shavasana.
Yeah. That's my favorite time. But honestly, you're right. It just it really relaxes you, soothes you, and get that negative toxins out of you, whatever you want to call it. But I enjoy it. I really do.
Yeah, it's amazing. I do recommend that once a week. It's awesome. It's the best. That and F45 training. Have you ever tried that?
We have one actually in Montreal. I see you do that a lot. Isn't that like a Mark Wahlberg? He's like kind
Yeah.
of started that. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks tough.
dude, it's awesome. It's Australian based. They came over here. Mark Wahlberg's bought into it now. But it's hard.
It looks tough. It
It's
looks
like
tough.
a CrossFit style kind of, but it's condensed 45 minutes, high intensity. I'm trying to get some boys out. Dylan Wells, who was on the podcast previously, a goalie in the Edmonton Oilers organization. He's saying no. Everyone's shrugging me off. So when you come down to Toronto, we'll have to get you out to one. But yeah, it's awesome. It's a great workout. I love it.
Well, actually, that I've seen like what it's like a bit of a cardio and like a work and a lift kind of at the same time. And yeah,
Yeah.
we have something similar at our gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's called like a Metcon
Yeah.
circuit, and actually it's right behind the Orange Julep. It's called APC. So next time you come, I'll bring you to one of those. That's probably the top. It's just strictly like cardio, and it's the toughest. It's an hour, toughest hour you'll ever be a part of, but. No, it's I love it. I do that once a week too sometimes, and at the end of it, I'm drenched, but I feel amazing because, like, you know what I mean. It reminds me of F45. So yeah.
Yeah. And then you grab your orange lab after, right?
Yeah, exactly. You lost the calories, you gotta put them back in.
Yeah. I love it. Have you been doing any Netflixing? Have you been watching any good shows or series lately?
I can't say I finished what did I finish the other day? Like I finished Stranger Things. I finished that one. There is this one show. What was it called? Umbrella Academy. Do you know what that is? Umbrella Academy. No, there's two seasons.
Yeah, I've watched it. I've watched all 2 seasons. Or there's 2, right?
I'm starting the second one, like a little late, but that one's like kind of different.
Yeah, good show. Yeah, really good show. I like it. Enjoy it.
It's like kind of a superhero show, but
yeah, kind of, but different. It is, but it's different.
Exactly.
But there you go. I got to step up my game.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of. I'll try, but I'm not. I'm more of like I'm watching the NBA finals right now. I'm watching the NHL finals right now.
Yeah.
So
what do you think of Denver Denver and Los Angeles?
Well, isn't it obvious? Denver's down 3-1. They're going to the finals. You know what I mean? They're already going. They got Jamal Murray.
You got them right where they want them.
Exactly. Honestly, I hope like LeBron and AD and the Lakers can finish the series off like they should. But you really can't count Denver out. You know, they've proven themselves already. But I mean, I think it's going to be Heat, Lakers, and Lakers. Well, I don't know. It'll be fun.
There you go. Culkin's calling it. He's going with the Lakers. The reason I brought up Netflix is there's a new series out called The Playbook, and it's called The Coach's Rules for Life. The first episode's with Doc Rivers. Yeah, it's amazing series. Well, I shouldn't say amazing. The first episode was fantastic. Doc Rivers, it goes through like, man, it was awesome because it talks about his experience through going through Boston, winning that championship in 2008, playing against the Lakers, going against a coach like Phil Jackson. Amazing. Highly recommend it. It's got some great, like, just his rules for life, and I think there's a lot to learn from coaches. That's why when you told me on the course that Patrick Roy was your coach, like, just about broke down. I was so jealous.
Goalie, that's right. Yeah, no, it's. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna grab an orange julep and I'm gonna watch it tonight.
There you go. The AP is influencing your life. You know what? We're focusing on recovery tonight. It's all about balance.
There you go.
So what's your goal then moving forward here? Now, obviously you've spent time up in the AHL, a little bit in the ECHL, and now, like, are you striving towards just making sure that you can contribute as much to your team moving forward? And how do you think you're going to do that?
So, like, my biggest goal is to try and get back to where I was my first year pro. My first year pro has always been my best, like, point wise, but my best, like, confident wise, and like everything was just going like amazing until I sliced my wrist open, obviously. But I've been trying to get back to that same spot, and I really feel really good about where my head's at, where my game's at. I think, and I know I can definitely establish like a spot in the American League. I know I can.
Yeah.
I just need the opportunity to stick there. But I really want to be like a two-way defenseman, produce, and kind of work my way as high as I can go. And like I said, I feel really good about my game. And this off season's really like gave me some time to really get back to where I was mentally and physically. So I'm excited. I really am.
Yeah, that's good, man. And I think you will. You've got that edge to you, and I like it. And so I want to bring that up. What was that? I don't want to bring up the bad memories of getting your wrist sliced open there, but what was it like? You see the injury, you go through that. How was that recovery process like? How difficult is that mentally to try and overcome and move forward from?
So I've had, like I said, I had a lot of injuries in my first 3 years professional, and I think that kind of backfired on me a little bit. Some of them fluky, some of them whatever. So my first major one was obviously my wrist getting sliced, and that was really scary because it happened so fast, so weird, so unpredictable. And I kind of made a play. I made like a play in the offensive zone, but it got tripped up. And as I was falling forward, like one of their players' skates was coming up, and I went to protect my face. And I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of a scar. Anyways, yeah, right here. So it sliced my wrist, and the adrenaline was pumping, but for me it was like, oh, a little scratch. But when I looked down, I could see like blood, I could see everything, and I started panic. I covered, I skate right off. And that was like, I was scared, especially since I was having such a good year that year. I was potentially going to maybe get a chance to play in the NHL.
Yeah.
And everything ends like, and I thought my career was done, but thankfully I was out for a total of 6-7 months without playing like competitive hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to do rehab. I had to get to repair my tendons, and I was feeling good. I was feeling really good. Like I'm like, okay, you know what? It was unlucky, but I'm okay. I'll be able to play again. So I had a really good mindset going into my next training camp. And my next training camp, I was really confident. I was feeling good. I was at rookie camp, and it was my second game, I think. I kind of make a play in the offensive zone, but kind of get tumbled. I tumble in like to the boards, and I go to brace myself while I'm going in, separate my shoulder. So I separate my shoulder. I'm out for another I think it was 2 months I'm out. So I couldn't finish the training camp. I just basically went to the American League, did my rehab. And once I came back, I was like, fine, I'm 100%. I can finally prove to the organization that it was a fluky injury. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up flying to San Antonio, where I was going to play my first game back in a year and a bit, and I was super excited. I only brought my shorts and my suit and everything, and the coach calls me over. He's like, "Culks, I got some bad news." I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "We're sending you to the East Coast so you can play, and just play a bit. You haven't played in so long. We want you to play." And if I can go back in time and just talk to myself and say, "Listen, you're only going to be there for a short period of time. Make the most of it."
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could, but I went down the East Coast with a terrible mindset. I was like, "Why me? I'm better than this." And I was a miserable hockey player. I felt bad for my teammates. I knew they probably didn't even want to be around me because just a bad character. I was bad. It was bad. And I'm embarrassed about it, but I kind of took away from that season. They were more like, "Oh, he can't deal with a bit of adversity," kind of thing, So then that kind of sucked. And then my last year, I was ready to go, and I was in the American League to start, having a good year. I get absolutely crushed, and I go back first into the whatever, and I my transverse process, whatever, my vertebrae, I cracked 3 little bones. So I was out another 2 months. So I was like, and then I went back, and so I've been trying to work my way back to that my first year with that confidence that I had, and I was making plays and stuff. So honestly, I have a good mindset. It's sometimes like people like get to where they want to go through tons of obstacles, and you just can't like dwell on the past. So I'm thankful I'm still here and I got an opportunity, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, and you've had this off season, you've been working hard. You were telling me about it on the course, and I'm excited to see it, man, because I think you got this positive attitude. You're always smiling. It's crazy. It's crazy to me to hear you sharing that story about how you were negative. You had a negative attitude going down to the UCHL there, because I just have never seen you negative once. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you even frowning. Like, even if you had a bad shot, you were laughing on the course. Like,
yeah, honestly, I think it's more of a maturity thing. Like I was 21 at the time, and I was playing the blame game kind of thing, and you got to look in the mirror, and sometimes shit happens, right? Yeah. Just try and stay positive, and thankfully my family was always very positive with me, and they're very supportive. So that's why I think I had a good like friend group and family group to kind of like push me and keep me on track. And the most important thing is to try and just stay positive. And it's kind of cliche, but if you're positive, it kind of brightens up everyone else's day. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a negative Nancy. I want to be a happy guy and be a good guy. So
I love it. Well, and I'm glad we can share this story on the Athletes Podcast, and it'll be cool to see in years to come when you're putting up points, when you're dominating in that defensive zone. We're gonna look back on this podcast. You're gonna see how positive Pete you were, and you're gonna dominate. I love it.
I love it.
And you kind of mentioned it there with your positive note, but we end every podcast with the athlete who we interview answering the question about how they would, or what advice they would give to the younger generation of athletes. That's one of the things we're trying to do with the Athletes Podcast, is give knowledge to the next generation of these youth coming up, and how they can basically learn from people who have gone through and experienced it. So what pieces of advice would you give to the next generation of athletes?
Well, definitely, like as much as possible, no matter what your situation is, like you gotta stay positive. But with that being said, like work, like for some it may come easy. Like they're just naturally gifted, they're naturally talented, and they can play in the game so easy. But a lot of us, we're not as gifted, we're not as talented, and sometimes you got to work a little bit extra harder. But think what can I do to better myself today than somebody else? Well, I can sleep in, or I can wake up maybe an hour early and like do a little lift, or like I'll run, or whatever it is. Like, just if you have that mindset that I want to be better than like the guy next to me or behind me, then you'll succeed 100%. And I wish I kind of had that mindset. I have it now, obviously, but like back then, just don't give up. Never give up, because anything's possible.
Yeah, well, now the Laval Rocket are going to see it this year. I love it.
I hope so.
Ryan Culkin, thank you very much for coming on the Athletes Podcast, man. It means a lot. Thank you for showing us an amazing time on the AP Tour, day 3 of it. And look forward to seeing you again up in Montreal. We'll have to go for a workout, get on the golf course, on the ice. We'll do everything.
Well, you let me know whenever you're in town. Your family almost, So whatever you need, you let me know what we're going to do, okay?
Wow, I appreciate it, man. Well, thank you again for coming on the AP, and we will talk to you later.